Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spawncast episode 445, the final Spawncast of 2025. And it's good to have Celia back with us, who is she dressed up just for the show,
Oh
nothing
yeah,
else,
just for the
just for this
show.
podcast.
Yeah, because it's the last episode. I'm doing
Good deal.
great. Thanks for having me. I will be leaving early tonight. I'm throwing a party at my house, so eventually, when people get here, I will need to leave. But I'll hang until then.
That'll work. We also have MVG here with the nice festive sweater.
Hello. I did get dressed up for the Spawncast. It's great to be here. And thanks for the invite, Celia, by the way.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Must have got lost in the mail.
Are you gonna do like a Christmas live stream, MVG, this year?
Nah. I used to do that like a few years ago with my good friend Audie. But I haven't done that in a while. Like I just spend the day with family and not worry about streaming and stuff like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. And we got Evan returning as well.
Yep.
To have Evan here, and we have Couch GT with us.
So we're going to start this off with the elephant in the room and the apologies. It's the holiday season, and I'm someone who needs to make amends with really two specific.
I mean, we don't have that much time.
No,
to make amends.
just two individuals.
Okay.
Last week, and then on various shows that I host, I have made some very disparaging remarks about Bernard from the Santa Claus movie starring Tim Allen and one Lenny Kravitz. And while I may not have enjoyed their artistic representation of Bernard or the fact that they went from "Are You Gonna Go My Way" to "I live my life, where have you been?" I was too hard on them. And, I understand this obviously was a very subconscious thing. I understand why I was hard on them. Because they're family. They are Nick's family. Both of them are Nick's diehards. I've actually seen Lenny Kravitz courtside many times. I think I just block it out of my memory. But I realize I'm wrong. Because you can't, it's not right to hold a grudge against family during this time of the year. I did post on Bernard's Instagram, left him a note saying that although I hate the Bernard character, I can no longer harbor ill will towards him because he's a Knicks fan. Merry Christmas.
Okay. Has he responded yet?
No.
Dude, I was going to be like, who the heck is this crazy middle-aged man DMing me about a job I did in like 1994?
No,
surrounded in retro WWE toys.
His whole Instagram is based on like the Santa Claus, really, if you look at it.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay, never mind. I was hoping he was just like going on with his life, like it's photos of his family.
He's stuck in that moment.
Instagram. I mean, I was gonna say that was a long time ago. The Santa Claus. That's
it's like 30 years.
Yeah. Still holding on. I
feel like if I was in Santa Claus, I too would bring it up and hold on to it. So I get it.
Sure. I mean, unless you're Neil.
No, yeah. Neil's still the ops. Neil could still he could like the Knicks. I wouldn't give a fuck. He's still a bitch. And the mom too.
The mom. We're still rolling up to watching that. We had just watched Home Alone yesterday. So now we got to watch Santa Claus soon. Then the Santa Claus 2. I don't know about Santa Claus 3 though. We'll see. Well, this is the last episode of the Spawncast for 2025. We will not have an episode next weekend, but then we'll be back on January 3rd to start off 2026. And I thought, you know what? For 2025, I thought it'd be a good idea to look back at the entire year because while it feels like the year goes by very fast, you also then forget some of the games that came out in January, February, even March, because it feels like it was another lifetime ago. It's this weird thing with just time. I don't know if it's just when you get old, time flies by, but then also feels like it was forever ago, just 11 months. So I thought I would look and maybe go back through some of that stuff and we can kind of talk about, because I know like MVG, myself, Celia, Sean, like we all played a bunch of the different games throughout the year. So I'll go month by month and just kind of remind everyone what game came out and then like reflect on it at that point. And then I also had a few other topics that involve some more current event things with AI, which really came up this week. Some of the declining hardware sales with November, in terms of hardware units being the worst we've seen since 1995, actually the year that Circana started tracking, which is a little shocking to see that. And I've had some stuff come up with Intergalactic that I thought I'd point out as well. And then we had a bunch of questions from the community over on the Spawncast Network. So actually some fun stuff to do to close out 2025. I feel like I will ask you, MVG, though. You've played a lot of games this year. You have. How many games do you end up completing?
I haven't really counted them, John, but it's probably about, I want to say about 15 or so I've finished this year.
That's what I mean. You finished like basically more than one a month. That's what I mean. I think so. I feel like you'll just randomly drop in like different chats and stuff. I just finished this 50-hour game. I'm like,
the last game I just beat was Dispatch last weekend, and I really liked it. Dispatch is a good game.
It's a good one, right? It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
That one snuck up on me. I don't know if that was a surprise for you, but
it was, because I told you last week. I think I mentioned on the cast. I started out not really liking it, but it kind of just grew on me. I played through it, and I was like, yeah, that's a good game. I enjoyed it.
Let's see. Evan liked it too. This is weird. It's like I liked it, you liked it, Evan liked it. I'll play it. Celia's going to start it up soon, I think.
The writing at the end got a little goofy, but yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, I'm actually going to start it up probably like next week. So I'll have thoughts and feelings eventually soon.
Sean's never going to play it because everyone liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. It's
coming to the Switch too, so he may want to play it there.
Oh, he might have to.
No, because there's no. I mean, it's not a graphically intensive game.
I heard it's 720p, 30 FPS on the Switch One.
Great, I don't care. I'm still not gonna. It's not my style. Not my style.
Let's see. Let me go back to January 2025. What did we have? What was? Oh. Sean, we had Donkey Kong Country Returns HD.
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Yep.
That was that you got a couple of videos out of that one.
Sure did.
Trying to see if there was any Ender. So people forgot Ender Magnolia. That was a game that kind of went under the radar a bit. It's called Ender Magnolia Bloom in the Midst. That did make the cut for the Game of the Year Madness. I think it's actually up right now against Blueprints. Blueprint's going to take it.
I can honestly say, John, I've never heard of this game that you're quoting right now.
That is one of the reasons I like the Game of the Year Madness thing, because it ends up being the top 30.
If Celia doesn't know what this game is, and what hope does this game have?
John, you just said a bunch of words.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm the only one that's been tracking it since Ender Lilies.
Thank you. See, Evan's got it. Evan knows what it is.
It's a good game.
See, I know what it is. Okay, there we go.
Would you say that I would play that before Dispatch, or would Dispatch?
No, you can burn through Dispatch pretty quickly.
Okay. Just wondering.
So it's kind of like a Metroidvania. People were saying it because the thing is, there are a lot of people who also were like, I hadn't heard of this. Then some people would come in and be like, it's Metroidvania, and like your person has personas that they shout out and like run through. Like they were just going over how much they liked it. So that's one of the reasons I do like doing the bracket, because these games will come up that people haven't heard of. I hadn't even really looked at it. Ender Magnolia.
It's like a different take on that, because most characters, like in Castlevania and stuff, they're badasses and they're just using powers. This is usually about a person who's frail, who's using like the ghosts of others to fight monsters for her. So it's kind of cool.
I did see that Johnny Israel became a YouTube member here. I do want to point out we do have the Toys for Tots drive going on right now. This is the last day. Obviously, we're doing the podcast for the year, so this is the last day we'll have for the drive right now. We already broke the $1,000 mark. That happened last week. MVG was pushing along as we went as well, so he helped us get there. We don't have the goal originally was just $1,000, so we already made it there. But if you would like to donate, there's a little fundraiser button there, right? And it all goes through YouTube. So you just drop money in there for Toys for Tots, and it goes to a good cause, getting kids that are disadvantaged for the holidays.
What is the current count? Where are we at right now?
You know, this is the thing. I actually sent a thing in for StreamYard. I said, hey, you need to look into the I need to pull up the YouTube page to check. I'm gonna do that right now. But I did send a thing to StreamYard. It's like you have to have better integration for these fundraisers that happen on YouTube. $1,239 is the current Spawncast Toys for Tots amount. We started at zero a couple weeks ago.
All right, chat. I'm looking at you guys. Let's get this to over 1,500 tonight. Let's do that. Good call.
We might get a Couch GT face reveal if it happens.
I'm not going downstairs. I'm like, oh shit.
Got a webcam on whatever you're using, right?
The Chromebook webcam.
Yeah, Chromebook webcam.
1.4 megapixel.
A little 480p.
Someone's asking where to donate, John.
If you look on the page down, it's under the chat. I'm not sure how it looks on mobile. Although on mobile, no, you know what? I see it on mobile next to the chat is a little hand in hand heart symbol. You click that, it says like donate now. That's the fundraising logo, and then it comes up. Or underneath the chat on desktop, it's donate now under Toys for Tots Spawncast, and you click that. And then it'll come up in the chat with your name and then the amount that you donated, or you are able to donate anonymously. So, for example, a few people here have donated. There was one anonymous donation for $5. There was one from Superman who donated $1. Anonymous also donated $5. Then we have Mac Mega who donated $7, and Shake and Bake donated $10.
Nice.
And then Boogie 1985 donated $10.
Not 2988, 1985.
No,
okay. 1985. I'm just making sure.
Then Mike donated $20, and then
Abadan
donated $5.
Shout out to Abadan.
And Daniel D donated $20. So that's kind of what we're rolling with now, trying to raise money for Toys for Tots. So shout out to everyone who is able to donate. And then anonymous for $5. Good stuff. Yeah, I sent in a thing for YouTube as well. I had like suggestions for all this. I'm like, let people type in messages and stuff, and it's a good idea to be able to like have more interaction through the fundraising stuff for this. So again, shout out to everyone who's able to donate. We'll see you guys up here. Evan can also maybe even keep track, and we'll shout some people out when we get a break as we go over everything here. So yeah,
spike a little bit.
Well, you want to shout out a few people? I'm gonna go into February because I was looking to see what else was here, and you know what? I think Enter Magnolia might have been the big one there, other than Spider-Man 2 on PC, and then Final Fantasy Rebirth actually when that launched on PC.
Right.
Yeah, so I'll roll into February. You want to give a shout out to a few people, Evan?
Oh, thanks Kadosho for $20 for Toys for Tots. Jolly C19 $5, and El Chavo for $10.
Okay, this is MVG's right here. February started off. One of the Game of the Year nominations, actually. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 came out February 4th. MVG loved this game. I wasn't as big of a fan of it, but I could see that it was a good game. Like I can't deny that. Like how I see certain RTS games, and I'm like, that's not really my kind of game, but I see where the quality is. MVG played, what do you do, 100 hours in this game?
Yeah, 100. I think it ended up being like 110 hours all up. Loved it. Loved every minute of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. It was a fantastic game. I know that the first-person combat really takes a lot of getting used to, especially early on when you're really weak and basically you can't really do anything. But the thing about that game is the story is really fun, and as you level up certain abilities, you kind of become a badass, and you can just kind of walk around and just like destroy everyone. So the thing about that game is you got to just keep playing it. The story is excellent. I think it deserved its nomination, and this is controversial, but I always throw takes out there. I liked it better than Expedition 33 personally. I thought it was a better game overall, and really, really enjoyed it. I think it's half off on Steam right now, so if anyone's curious about it, check it out. If you don't like it, just refund it. But it is a good game, very good game.
You know what it was, MVG? Maybe that's the thing. I think I checked my play time is about 12 hours on the PlayStation 5 for that game. And what got me is you do the thing where you can walk, but you can kind of fast travel when you see a person moving around the map.
Yep.
And I got stopped, and it was two people, and they're like, give us all your money and your horse. And I was like, no. They just hit me and killed me. I was like, what? So I get maybe that's
better, man.
I got to get stronger, or like you say, eventually you get to the point where you are like really strong in the game. Maybe
you build up certain stats where you can basically avoid any fight, and it's definitely a slog. I'm not going to lie. Like there's definitely parts of my playthrough where I just felt like rage quitting and saying, yeah, I'm done with this. But there was something compelling about the game and the story that just kept pulling me in. And man, I'm glad I played through the game. It was a lot of fun.
I remember playing the first one. I went heavy into bow and arrow, and then there was a part in the game where they threw you into a house, like a small house with one guy who was really good with a sword. And I was like, well, I guess I have to start again. This is going to be good.
I will tell you real quick.
Cyber Taurus just donated $150.
Yeah, Cyber Taurus 150.
I just want to give a shout out to Cyber Taurus real quick on MVG.
We need to we'll do it shortly, but we'll have to reassess that goal that I set because I feel like we can hit that pretty easily. Evan, I was going to say I haven't played the first game, and I kind of want to go back and play it, but like I also realized it's probably going to be a little more jankier than the second one. So part of me is like I shouldn't ruin it.
Definitely more, but over time they did smooth it out. Like I feel like that really was their test run leading up to 2. And I mean, you've played 2, so you kind of already know the sequel, I guess. So It might be a little weird, but had some great moments in it.
Just jumping in for February because I'm realizing John's list does not include a lot of indie games. In February, Rift of the Necrodancer came out. It's a follow-up from Crypt of the Necrodancer. If you guys played that game from Brace Yourself Games, it's a cool rhythm game. Shovel Knight did a collaboration with that, fun fact. And it's cool if you like rhythm. So I enjoyed that. And another, I guess, an oddball one is Tiny Terry's Turbo Trip. There we go. Tiny Terry's Turbo Trip. There we go. Alliteration. Yeah. It's a sandbox weirdo game on Steam. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of those that I'm going to mention, but I like those in Feb.
Okay, good stuff. Good. Yeah, I don't see that on this list. I saw Terry's other games. That's what I saw on here. I didn't see any Tiny Terry. Huh.
Yeah, Tiny Terry's Turbo Trip. I played it on PlayStation.
We had Avowed came out. Sean, you actually liked Avowed.
Rethinking that?
You played through it, Avowed.
Yeah, I beat it. I didn't hate it.
Avowed.
I will say I liked the gameplay. I thought the gameplay
tolerated it. Well, that's a good one.
Well, no, the gameplay was good. Just the story was horrible.
Yeah, so that Avowed dropped. We had, and then Monster Hunter Wilds, which I had MVG down because of Ninja 5.0 was in here, and I played through that one. It was fun for what it was. Good game. But Monster Hunter Wilds clearly was the big one because that immediately jumped out to like 10 million sold or something. And Evan, you played through Monster Hunter Wilds.
Yeah.
And would you enjoyed it? It was all right.
It was a good experience, but I also saw why everyone who played Monster Hunter Worlds was a little annoyed with it, since the whole Monster Hunter Worlds was a million things, and then they were like, all right, go back to square one and play again, and then have to wait for all the other things you already expect from Worlds. So it's just sequelitis issues, but it was pretty decent.
Okay. March, we had Split Fiction, and I'm still playing through that now. I don't know if anyone else played through it, but I think I've had like 7 or 8 hours, so I'm rolling through it pretty well with one of the kids, and it does some weird stuff. I will say that they really do play around with the idea of splitting the screen, having people go off, of course, doing their own thing on different parts of almost like the level that they have set up, kind of almost a hallway but separate. But then they'll bring people together and they remove like the black line that's down the middle, and it's pretty cool. They do a lot of fun stuff with split screen vertically and then also horizontally. But the one that really was tripping me out was the gravity stuff that they did, where the ceiling will be a wall for somebody, but for you it's the floor, and then vice versa. There was the one that I ran through as well, where they had you changing into different creatures in this fantasy world. So one person could turn into like a little pixie flying around, the other person could turn into a big gorilla, and you'd use your abilities.
The pixie, weren't you?
I was the pixie, actually. Yeah, so I was the pixie, or you also could turn into a big tree like Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy. So I was also that. But you turn into like a gorilla or a fish, and you'd use your different abilities to get through. So the puzzles were really good. There was minimal combat actually from the fantasy part. I feel like the most of the combat was in the sci-fi setting because you're samurais in the sci-fi world. But it's that is actually a pretty cool game. It's just you need another person, and that's going to be a hang up for people. So if you can find somebody, it's a good one. And WWE 2K25, which Sean, you actually like that one too.
Bought it twice.
You did. And then MVG, Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Great game.
Controversial game.
It was. I didn't really read up on any of the controversy. I just played the game. I enjoyed my time with it. Another game that I probably dropped about 100 hours in. I beat it on the PS5. I did get a Switch code recently, and it's nice that my save file transfers over on the Switch too. kind of hoping they'll drop some DLC though. Then I'll play it and maybe do a 100% run on it. But I really like Shadows. It was an excellent kind of return to form for Assassin's Creed for me. Good game.
I heard that they fixed. I've already removed it because I needed space. But I heard that they fixed the in-town frame pacing.
Oh, good. I haven't looked at it in a while myself. I still have it installed, but I will take a look after the cast. Actually, I'll check it out.
I checked because I got the PlayStation Wrapped. Apparently, Microsoft's not doing theirs. People are saying it might be budget reasons. I don't know what that actually means, but apparently they're not doing one. I checked my PlayStation Wrapped though, and top game, Assassin's Creed Shadows at 68 hours. So there you go. I was Assassin's Creed Shadows. I think I liked it more than like the average person who played through. Like you, MVG, I think you liked it more as well. I thought it was pretty fun. I don't know. I actually went around the world quite a bit. I didn't do like the platinum or anything because the fatigue started to set in a little bit for me with how everything did start to kind of feel a little samey. But I will say, for the most part, going through it, I did enjoy my time. It's
still a Ubisoft game, John. At the end of the day, with all sorts of markers on the map where you have to do a million different things. So yeah, I could see that.
Okay, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Ghost of Yotei, Death Stranding 2 are the top 3 games for my Wrapped. Sounds about right. Let's see. And so we had, we have WWE 2K25, Assassin's Creed Shadows, and was that it for, then we went into April.
Wait. Okay.
You forgot all the indie games.
The Indie Reporter.
Go ahead, Celia.
Okay.
Indie games.
Okay, for indie, so we are talking about, we are in March, correct?
We are in March. Yes. You want to follow up any of the stuff I say with indie games? That'll actually look great.
I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm just like tuning in for all this. Squirreled Away was cute. You're a squirrel living your best squirrel life. I thought that was adorable. It's very sandboxy. There's co-op. It's cute. My brain was thinking that Yakuza came out in March, the Pirate Yakuza game, but that was in February. So I'm just blending games together. Did we talk about that?
No, did you play it?
Yes, I did play it.
What did you think of it?
I really liked it. It was bizarro. I didn't beat it yet. I will return to it, I promise. I love the Yakuza games in general. Zero is my favorite in particular. It's because you get to play as Majima, and he's my favorite character in the Yakuza series. And basically that game is just a fever dream for Majima. So everything was really cool. I loved learning the skills. I loved building your party. All of the characters were kooky and fun. And I definitely will go back to it eventually after I get through, I guess, parts of my current backlog. But I hope they make more Majima-focused games in the future, because that was such a treat. And they took a lot of risks. Not risks, but like they really leaned into how weird they could make it. And you could tell the developers were having fun when they created it. So it was a good time.
Not very indie, though.
No, but I wanted to bring that up. That's why I posted in our private chat, and I was like, "Wait, what about Yakuza Pirate stuff?"
Did you have any other indie titles for March?
For indie March? Okay, March. I wish I wrote notes. Not for March. Okay. I have some in April though, so I'll pop in again.
I'm gonna throw one to Sean then from March before I move to April. Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition.
Oh yeah, great game. I'm glad that I was the one person on the podcast to beat it, and then return to it. That was probably my most played game of the year. Was it?
I figured it was that or Age of Imprisonment. It was between the two.
No, I definitely played Xenoblade more. Xenoblade was close to like 80 hours, I think.
I'm waiting for that patch. I'm waiting for that Switch 2 patch, man.
Yes.
I need to just unlock the frame rate. Just if it's just 60, I'll feel much better.
Just before the Switch 3 comes out, it'll be good.
I know. I'm waiting for him to do it, because that game it could help. It could use it, and the Switch obviously could do it, no problem. So I would like to see that.
Still a great game though. Favorite in the franchise.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And okay, so I'm going to move into April, Celia. If you had any indie titles for that one, does Blue Prince count as an indie game?
Not really, but yes, sure.
But that's going to win the Indie Game Awards, because they
did.
Hell yeah. I don't know.
Okay. Expedition got kicked out because they dared to use AI.
Okay. The thing is, though, is that I think we need to redefine indie, but that is a whole other conversation because, there's like the scale of indie is so vast. It's impossible to accurately judge all of these things because there could be 3 friends in a garage creating a game that, from Game Maker or something that they built together. And then there's games that are industry veterans with juggernaut publishers spending under $30 million or whatever on the development spend.
The original concept I thought was just that you are developer and publisher.
Yeah.
You
okay.
are,
So
quote independent.
Yes,
unquote.
You're not. Okay. There's a bunch of different qualifications I guess that people use to define things.
Yeah, they changed it to prices and people.
Yeah, it could also be under $30 million production or whatever. There's another one that's if you're not with just the mainline production, it's also how you define yourself. Some people
do you have a
like
Switch
to go there
yet or not?
Oh my god, you never know. But yeah,
or see one a couple years ago, maybe. No, okay, good.
Yeah. Anyways, on to indie games or regular games, depending on how you want to define yourself. 100-line Last Defense Academy. It has 100 different alternate endings. It's such an ambitious game. It is made by the creator of Danganronpa, but he self-published this title, so it's not published by Spike Chunsoft for this one. And it is such a good game, and more people should be talking about it. And it is fantastic. So if you like that type of thing, and it's tactics and it's fun, go check it out. It was so ambitious, and I hope he makes more games. And I know a lot has been writing on the success of that game. I know it's on Steam because that's where I checked it out. I'm not sure if the demo is still available if people want to check it out. It's a pretty meaty demo, so you can decide if you really love the game, then you can really get it and then play all of it. But it's up to you.
That game is in the top 32 games of the year because it's in the Game of the Year madness. It's the seeded 28.
Dude, hell yeah. It's so good. Okay, and then
what its matchup is. I don't know what its matchup is.
Okay, other indie games besides Blueprints. Duck Detective and the Secret Salami. I love Duck Detective. It's a really yes. Okay, so it's like a papercraft looking game, and you are a duck. The humor is really cheeky and fun. And yeah, you're solving mysteries, man. I love that game so much. And fun fact, I showed it to George, who owns Super Rare, and they got a physical because I wouldn't shut up about the game to him, and he's like, "Fine, I'll check it out." And so that's why I have the physical for the game because it was a thank you. But anyways, I love that. It's a real good treat. In addition to that, Promise Mascot Agency came out. That is also an indie game. It is basically similar to Dispatch. You are running an agency for mascots. Actually, it's nothing like Dispatch. I've never played it. I don't know. But it's really fun and it's really deranged and unhinged. I do not know how to explain it to you without just saying a bunch of random words. It's really weeby. It's also kind of horny for no reason. And it's also it's just bizarre and it's really fun. And basically, and yeah, no, it's so unhinged. I love it. Anyways, I've told everyone about this game. So that game came out and it was really, really cool. And there's one more that I wanted to bring up before you guys get into the super big popular games.
I know. I'm so sorry. While we wait, Super Jackson did drop 20. We also had an anonymous 50, Zach Mack with 5, Alex with 5, Lydia with 20, Alvira with 20, Suited for Gaming with a big 50, Braxton with 20, and we got Go for 10 and Gaming Mariner for 20, all for Toys for Tots.
Wow. Shout out.
Guys.
Okay, yeah, this tiny game called Expedition 33, I think, came out in April. Just kidding.
Indie game.
Yeah, tiny. Never heard of it. But you should check it out though. It's in the underground scene.
I do want to get. I want to just mention Blueprints. I played through it, and play through it, quote unquote. The idea is even after you beat it, there's still more stuff to do in it. But it was such an interesting idea for a game. Whereas, I mean, the idea is it's kind of a roguelike game, but there's no combat in it. You're just going through different rooms that you find and completing certain puzzles. And the whole idea is you're going to get some rooms that'll eventually be a dead end. So while each room is a puzzle, the whole thing is also a puzzle. And the idea is to get to, there's a certain mark in the house that then gets you underground, and then the story progresses and you figure out what's going, because the idea is it's just one of those games where it's like, here you go, figure it out, and you have no idea what you're doing there or who you are, and you kind of work all this out as you go through. And apparently there are still things in the game that people have not found, but it's such an interesting, I mean, it's a basic concept in that every time you open a room, a new room just randomly generates in front of you, and some will have no exits, so that just kind of is a dead end for the map. Some will have 3, some will have 4, and the idea is those are the rooms that you want to roll, because if you keep getting dead ends, then your run will just end completely. But it was such an interesting concept. You have a certain number of steps that you go through, so if you backtrack, you'll lose your steps. If you run out of steps, your run's over. So I recommend people
you can recover steps.
Yeah. Wait,
built-in modifiers. You can get items that change how things.
I played it for a couple hours.
Oh, snap! Really? You played that?
I'm so proud of you.
I played it for, I would say like 5 or 6 hours.
PlayStation Plus?
No, Xbox Game Pass.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's cool. I never heard you talk about it at all. That's
you
interesting.
Never asked me.
Wow, I don't know. It just didn't seem like a game you had been interested in.
It was all right.
Okay.
I kept getting stuck, and I was just like,
Sean,
it took a while for me to get through it. I will say that.
Did the game also make you guys feel very smart and in equal parts also very stupid until you figured it out?
Yes.
You played it too, Celia?
Yeah, of course I played Blueprint.
We
talked about it literally on the Spawncast. Well, I don't know. You were doing such a great job.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know. But yeah, I remember like that episode, and I was like, oh, I'll play it too. And, I did.
You liked it?
Yeah, it was great.
I like just finding it. There's just random like little secret things, like you can things that'll stay with you, like opening up to like the shortcut in the backyard, or finding the shed, like little things that are just kind of cool that are thrown in there in the beginning even. And like if I started a whole new game file now, I know a few things to do immediately to give me those advantages. So it's just, I don't know, it's a really cool game, and I recommend people trying it out just because it is a different kind of game. I don't know what to compare it to. So it's a complete recommendation on that one. Especially if you just want a game where it's not super stressful, I guess. You just want kind of a laid-back game. So let's see. In April, there was that little game called Expedition 33 that came out. That did happen. Did you try more of it, Celia?
Nope. It's still on my list. Literally at the Game Awards, everyone was screaming, being excited about it. And I was like, I know what this is. But yeah, no, I need to play through it. I've just been very, very busy and playing Life is Strange.
How was the energy at the Game Awards when they called Expedition 33 every time to the stage to pick up the trophy?
Everyone was screaming. It was a lot. Everyone was very excited. Obviously there was a lot of hype around the game.
Is there an awkward cloud that started to form after like award 7 or 8?
Yeah, I mean, usually, after the 3rd award, everyone starts to hate you. But I think this time around, everyone expected it. Just of the popularity of the game to begin with.
We called a Kojima eye roll on camera. That's all I was asking.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah, they got him going like, oh yeah.
When they were announcing the game of the year, were they already standing up before they called it, or just
they should have left them up backstage so they could just
have a guy walk up to the top of the stage and sit on the step and just wait?
Dude, one of my friends jokingly tweeted out that Expedition 33 got robbed, because it was some award, and people got so mad. He was kidding. But yeah, no, I think they broke a record, right? It was
9. They won 9.
awards.
The last one was Last of Us Part 2 that had 7.
That's wild. That's cool though. Good for them.
They would have had 10, but Battlefield 6 won the audio design.
Oh.
Otherwise they would have double digits. So, but I did like Expedition 33 quite a bit. The thing with it though is it's completely going to come down to how you feel about a parry system in a game. That's just it. If you're not a fan of parries, you're probably not going to enjoy the gameplay side. And if that's the case, then I'd recommend at least just putting it on easy going through it, because the story is quite interesting, especially as you get through more of the chapters. People will post up end of chapter 1 or end of chapter 2, and they're like, oh my God, they do some kind of reaction to it. It does have those moments. And you could tell they have a lot of a lot of influence from things like Lost Odyssey or Final Fantasy, those sorts of games. And it still kind of has that hint of Unreal Engine look to it, but they did try to dress it up a bit more to where it has at least a nice artistic flair to it. But I wanted Sean to play it because it's incredibly French, and I want to see how he feels about it. But MVG, you played it too.
It's so French, Sean.
Yeah, this is the game they spell color with a U and favorite with a U.
God.
Sean's gonna lose his mind in his house by himself at like 1 a.m, yelling at his TV. What do you think, MVG? I will say this: MVG not as high on it as I think the consensus has been, which is fine.
No, I didn't like the parry system. I've mentioned this before. Yes, you can drop it to easy, and yes, you can dodge instead of parry. But if you dodge, you don't get any of the bonuses, right? Like, and some of the later boss fights, you have to parry in order to beat them. Like, there's just no way around it. I just didn't like the fact that you had to like figure out when to parry and learn the enemy's attack sequences until you were able to beat it. And in some instances, the bosses were really kind of just tricky to take out, right? So I don't know. I just didn't like that aspect of the game. But look, overall, it was a good game for me. I enjoyed it, but I don't think it deserved to win 9 awards or whatever amount of awards it won at the Game Awards. But I'm not LA Times and Hollywood Informer and
not Newsweek.
And all these, not Newsweek. So
I actually did. I was gonna make a video on it, but I realized I should have made it like before the Game Awards. A lot of those places that I mentioned were not on the panel this year, but there were so many worse ones that were on the panel. Places that don't like review. Oh, we talked about it on the show, didn't we?
You were starting to read them off, I thought, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Like, just horrible. Absolutely disgusting.
I will say one of my main criticisms around Expedition 33 is what they did after the release. They started nerfing the game, like in terms of what you could pull off. Because the idea is you get these abilities and you stack them on your character based on how much ability points they have. And you could create all these combinations. And people just figured out, here's how you break the game when you get to max level, and you could do all this stuff, and your character will just absolutely destroy everything in front of them. To me, that is part of the traditional RPG experience. You get to the end of Final Fantasy X, you have you break the damage limit, your characters are stupid powerful, they just start destroying everything in front of them. But what happened was, I guess they weren't a huge fan of how much people are breaking the game, and they decided to kind of like turn down some of the damage for these different combinations. I wasn't a huge fan of that, because that's just kind of the nature of a single player turn-based RPG that we've had in the past, that we look at them as, okay, here comes this Final Fantasy game, how do I eventually break the game at the end?
Yeah, that's the fun of min-maxing, the power fantasy of it.
Yeah, so people were still trying to figure out ways around that. And I think for the most part, they came up with combinations. But when you had like this crazy combination where you build it up, you set everything up perfectly, and then your character hits for 3 million damage. You know what? You spent the time figuring it out.
The way that I beat that game was I just grinded the levels until I was high enough where where most encounters became trivial and just knocked over the bosses.
The classic JRPG approach.
Yep, that works too. You can do that. But that was the thing that kind of irked me a bit. I'm like, I don't know if I like that as much. Just leave that. It's a single player.
Dude, honestly, RPG the audio was incredible. The audio soundtrack's fantastic for that game. In my opinion, they're the only awards it should have won. And it didn't even win the audio award, right? Something else won.
The audio design, so like Battlefield, when it comes to like all the gun sounds and explosions, but soundtrack, I believe Expedition 33 did win.
Okay,
not the sound effects.
I think. Well, there is Mario Kart World, but I think Expedition 33 deserves a soundtrack.
Hey, Ace Combat next year, get out of the way. That soundtrack, they're coming for that soundtrack. So hey, Expedition 33, Celia, let us know what you think about it. With no spoilers as you go through, of course, and reaction.
Yeah, I am very curious, Celia, about your thoughts on the game, especially the combat. Like, like some people say, MVG, you're overblowing the parry stuff. You're just taking it too far, whatever. But I don't think I am. So I want to hear what your take is.
Was it an overabundance of it, or was it like the feeling of the timing? So it was just like you have to. Like
there's no cues. That's not entirely true. There are some cues, but they're generally like audio cues that you have to really listen for rather than like look for. And in some instances, shit just happens, and you're not even ready for it. And like John said, you get like crit for 3 million, and like it's a team wipe straight up. It's like, fuck this, So the amount of times I wanted to put my foot through the TV, I can't tell you. But.
Okay,
it just reminds me of the time I accidentally beat the Sword Master in Sekiro because I kept mashing the parry button by accident and just defeated him.
It's a good rhythm game.
I'll live react in our chat. So
oh man,
I'll do that for you, MVG.
Just send the picture of the controller through the TV. It's fine. We also had Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered that came out in April, and that was, it was cool to see it. Man, that performance was rough. That's all
I played it for maybe about 3 or 4 hours, John. I got out of the sewers. I played maybe a handful of missions, and then I remembered that this was Oblivion, a game that I played in 2006 that I thoroughly enjoyed and beat back in the day. There's no reason for me to go back and play through this game again, so I just kind of stopped.
It's fair.
MVG, I feel that. I love Oblivion because I loved how jank it was back in the day. And I played a little bit. They kept the jank. I cheered. And then I went back to all the other games in my backlog. So eventually, when I get nostalgic, I'll probably boot it up. But
had a lot of graphical issues too.
Yeah, they kept the jank and new jank.
Yeah,
excellent.
If you want to keep the normal jank, that's fine. Adding in new jank, like when you're near water and like there's weird effects that don't make sense, and the weird shimmering on every sword that you have that makes no sense either. It's very distracting, and it bothered my eyes.
Okay, fair enough. I like it. I went into playing the game expecting like nostalgic bad, so I think I just was cheering for all the probably wrong things, like the weird zoom. I love the weird zoom. Okay, proceed.
Is there anything I should call out for April, Celia, that I may have missed from the indie side?
I think that was it from my side. Lost Records, it's not really indie because I think that was published by Square Enix, or am I making that up? I don't remember. Anyways, I played a little bit of that game. I kind of fell off from it, to be honest, because a lot of it, besides the side story, it's just taking a lot of videos basically, and I was just kind of like, okay, I don't know. Eventually I'll go back to it and give more thoughts and feelings, but yeah. Moving
into May, very strong move here. Despalote came out May 1st.
Yeah,
sure
did. Dude, Sean, we need a video from you on this game. My gosh.
It's just going to be 10 minutes of me saying Despalote over and over again.
All right, so South of Midnight did come out then, but I have not put enough time into that really give a solid opinion on it. I really haven't. I don't know how long the game is, but I've played like a little more than 3 hours of it. I checked.
It's sale now, I think, specifically on Steam for the winter sale, I want to say.
Okay. So that's what I might go back to at some point.
I did not play South of Midnight, but I'm probably going to pick it up on the Switch too when it comes out next year. Because Nate keeps telling me it's a good game. I keep seeing people say it's a good game. I want to check it out for myself. So I'll jump on it next year.
Yeah. All my friends that did play it did say good things. So
let's see. What else do we have in May? Doom the Dark Ages in May. Doom the Dark Ages.
Now we're talking.
I played through that. When did you play through it? Sean was playing through
it. Yes, we are.
That's kind of mid.
No, don't be silly.
By far the softest of the new Doom trilogy.
It definitely had less lasting impact than most.
I was going to say, I feel like no one talks about it anymore.
Because it wasn't as good as 2016 or Eternal.
It
just wasn't.
I think it's better than 2016. Probably not as good as Eternal.
No, stop it. Dude, what?
I'm trying to think.
No way. You're being, what's that word?
Facetious?
The word that contrarian.
What was your issue with Dark Ages?
it just wasn't as good as 26. Like it was fine. It was a lot more of the same, and then the stuff that they added in, I didn't really care for it. You know,
Did you not like the Did you not like the dragon parts?
I didn't really like the dragon parts and stuff like that.
What about most of the maps being very open and large? So you're mostly just jumping around in circles, seeing everything and shooting at it, as opposed to tight.
I loved all that. I loved all that.
It's a different.
Like all that.
It's a different feel.
Rock'em Sock'em Robot.
Definitely a different feel.
I love that too.
It's just
quick time Rock'em Sock'em.
Like I don't know what they were going. Like once again, I don't think it's a bad game, but to say that it's worse than 2016 is crazy to me, because 2016 or that better. Because 2016, dude, that game is fucking awesome. Plus,
do you think it's the impact of it showing up, and like that's the first real look we have of it in that instance, like Doom, like that?
No, because I think you could go back and play 2016, and it's still fucking amazing. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't think the game was bad. I was very underwhelmed by it. I didn't like a lot of the things that they added. The lack of soundtrack in comparison to previous Doom games.
That's my biggest issue with the game. The soundtrack, I don't remember any of the songs on this game. Not. But of course you remember BFG.
2016, baby.
Yep. Let's see. We did have this is still. You know what game? I'm a little surprised none of us really played was Elden Ring Night Rain. That's the one that sticks out to me, because I figured someone would have played it. None of us played it, even though we all liked Elden Ring.
It's co-op and it's kind of roguelike-ish, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's the online. It's the multiplayer game.
Also, when it came out, it was not in a great state, if I recall correctly. There was all sorts of issues with it.
Yes. Yeah, there were like network issues. It was weird because I thought they ran a network test for it.
I think my problem with Elden Ring Night Rain is I already have like 200 and something hours in Elden Ring. I can't start that up again. Like if I'm going to do a Souls-like and just invest my entire time into, it has to be the next game that comes out, whatever that is. So I'm kind of waiting for that.
Bloods.
I don't know if it's that. I'm not sure if it's that one either. It might be, but it may not be.
Did I miss anything in May? What about you, Celia? Anything in May I should be aware of?
I have games. Okay, actually I have two. Okay, so Pipistrello. I'm probably saying the name of that wrong, but okay, Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo. It's a 2D action adventure game with a cute blue mouse that uses a yo-yo. That came out that month. There's a lot of good things, great reviews. It's made by Pocket Trap. They're great developers. So shout out to them. In addition to that, Calibra and the Souls of Limbo. I've yapped about this game multiple times. It also came out that month. Just as a recap, the game is like kind of like a visually like a paper craft. Reminds me a lot of like Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, except instead of doing RPG things, you're focusing on, I guess, like narrative kind of adventure where you're solving and helping the characters that you meet find peace and pass on since you're in limbo. It's so cleverly written. It's funny. The stories are meaningful. It's such a fun, cheeky adventure. I highly, highly recommend playing this game. The DLC, I think, is coming out next year. I don't know if there's a date announced or not, but I'm really looking forward to it. This is actually my game of the year. I loved it so much. Did it reach me in a time where, like, emotionally, I really connected with that? Yes, to be honest. I lost my mom this year, so it's like moving on with, like, you know, helping souls, you know, and find peace. It was really beautiful to me, and I love it. So definitely go check it out. It's also on sale on Steam right now because I think there's a Steam sale.
So this just in, anonymous for 160 for Toys for Tots.
Wow.
Oh, hell yeah. Yay.
Anonymous.
And Medallion for 67 of Canadian Monopoly dollars.
Oh, right. That was 6. Okay. I see.
It's like $2 real money.
So wait, what's the count at right now? Where are we at?
Let me see. Look on here. $2,348.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, because we already had
2,500. Let's go.
We had RGT Pistolero for a 50 as well as Astrolock for 20, and a bunch of Anonymous for 50, 23, 20, and another 20.
Wow. Shout out to Anonymous.
Let's get those toys out for those kids. Let's go. 2,500.
Good stuff. Yeah, shout out to Anonymous. There it is. Let's see. We move into I had my tab all messed up. There we go. Moving to June, we had the launch of the Switch 2. All right, so that was a lot of midnight releases here going on. You went and actually picked it up at Best Buy, did you, Sean?
Sure did. Me and her ex.
Yeah, I went and picked up Best Buy. I don't know. MG, did you get a minute release? Or you just picked up the next day or something? I can't remember.
X was in the chat.
I had a remember with all that pre-order stuff. I had a pre-order from Walmart, and they showed up the next morning with a packet of Pringles and Switch 2 and some Coke, Coca-Cola, not
okay.
And yeah, it was a good time.
It's Walmart. We can't be sure. I had that because I had the ordered one that I was going to do the assembly on and other things too, and that same exact thing, Pringles and the Coke, and it confused everyone. People were more interested in posting that they got Pringles and Coca-Cola from Walmart than the Switch 2 that showed up. So
solid viral marketing.
I guess so. I mean, people were posting it that they got it from Walmart, so Walmart was all over the place because of a Coca-Cola and a Pringles can. So I guess that works. But with that, we had the big release Super Mario Kart World, and
you want to try that again?
I have games.
Super Mario Kart World? Is that the new name?
Oh, sorry.
Mario Kart World.
Super Mario Kart will be the re-release on the next system.
Switch 2 edition, deluxe.
Mr. Super Mario Kart World is his father.
Mario Kart World came out June 5th, along with the Switch 2. And it's in a much better place now. They've done a lot of updates for it. And you can actually play with your friends in a room now compared to back then where it was like everyone was trying to join and then we couldn't do knockout tour and we couldn't really do a lot.
I still love that that's the Nintendo online bar is like, yes, we can join with our friends.
That was kind of the thing, at that time. And it was kind of, I don't know, it was weird because we had game chat going and we were trying to time out when we should jump into each other's worlds so we could race around and then start up like just a race online. But they've basically fixed that now. There was a whole thing about picking tracks in general that weren't just drive from A to B. They're trying to get the actual circuit tracks. A lot of that's been resolved, it seems now. So it's took them a few months, but they got it there. But it was. I feel like we spent a fair amount of time playing it then, and it just kind of, for me anyway, it's just kind of went on the back burner just because all the other games were coming out, and it's just like, oh, there's Mario Kart, it's something to play with the family here and there. When was the last time you guys booted that one up?
It was my walking game, but then I replaced it with Donkey Kong and then Hyrule Warriors. So it's been a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a little bit for me. I really like Mario Kart World a lot, actually. I got really sucked into that game. I think I have maybe about 35 to 40 hours, and I haven't picked it up in a while. But every so often I go and check it out, see what the updates are all about. But I really like it. And I think it's just gotten better over time.
I will say this. One of the big releases was Cyberpunk, and that actually got Sean to play through it because you played it a lot in handheld mode, but that got you through Cyberpunk.
Well, yeah, because I bought it originally on the Xbox One after all the yellow chairs told me it was going to be a great version, and I was crazy for thinking that there was going to be something wrong with the console version.
It's a good time. Those are good days.
Good time.
And well, your progress got reset back then, and you just dropped it because you lost. I mean, when you described where you were, I was like, you lost 10 hours or so with your progress save file being deleted.
No, that was not a deletion. It was a hard.
Yeah, you got hard locked, didn't you? You said you just couldn't progress anymore.
Yep, it was a hard lock.
Yeah, but I mean, you'd have to restart basically a whole new file, right, to go through.
Right.
Yeah. So now though,
the save.
Now though, you're able to go through it on the Switch too. What'd you think of Cyberpunk the first time you played through it?
I mean, it was a cool game.
It seemed to keep you on board the whole time.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to like about it. I didn't do the DLC stuff yet. I don't know. Maybe I'll go back to it.
People say that's like the best part. Like,
really,
you really want to do that. Because when I played the first game, I didn't like that. If you do all the story, you just get to choose your ending at the end, like some kind of pick A, B, C. Or I hated that in Deus Ex Humankind, and like hate it there. But supposedly, yeah, the DLC is just way better written, way better organized, way better of an experience in the game. So you should really check it out.
Okay. MVG, do you ever go back to that game?
Which one?
Cyberpunk.
No, I've tried. Well, I did go back to it when the Switch 2 came out, so I gave it Another go, I thought I'll start up the Phantom Liberty this time round and see what that's about, because people are raving about that game, how it's really, really great DLC and stuff. And I don't know, man. I can't get into that game. I've tried so many times, John.
It's that initial introduction to the game. Once you get past the preliminary missions, and then all of a sudden your entire map just fills up with points of interest, and they're like, "Go here now, experience the next mission." It's like, this isn't fluid at all. This doesn't feel great.
Sean played through it, right? You ended up playing through it, and you liked it in the end. I think I remember.
Cyberpunk?
Yeah.
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
I was kind of hoping I would have the same kind of feelings, because like the times I have played it, it was certainly not, the latest patches or anything like that. The first time I played it was when the game came out, and it was just a disaster. And then I played it maybe a year later, and I got the Switch 2 version because I kind of got caught up in the hype of the Switch 2 Cyberpunk stuff. And man, I have maybe like an hour, 2 hours in it, and that's it. So I don't know. It's not for me.
What about Switch 2 Welcome Tour?
Never played it.
No? Oh, okay.
Never bought it.
I didn't play it either.
We're not
I was like,
yeah.
Okay, I have 2 games to mention, and then I need to go because people are at my house right now. So first off, Deltarune chapters 3 and 4. I'm a huge Undertale fan, and so I've been playing Deltarune, and I've been eagerly awaiting these chapters, and they were so fun and comedic, and introduced a bunch of new characters that were really enjoyable, very Toby Fox-esque. And I'm really looking forward to more chapters when we get them in a million billion years. So I really, really enjoyed that. Then other things that came out, Ruffy in the Riverside. It was really cute. And it was like a fun little platformer, and 3D platformer, 3D, 2D, I don't know, because he's like paper. Anyways, it was really cute, and the mechanics were clever. I have a few complaints, but overall I had a really fun experience with it. He also does like this thing with his hands like this, and like initially I was like, but it's like all the time, like he's just doing that. And at first I was like, why is he doing that? Stop that. But then like after a little bit, it might be Stockholm syndrome or something, but I was like,
ADHD kicking in.
I was like, yeah, little guy, keep going, you got this. And so I thought it was really cute, and I enjoyed that. And then a game that's in my backlog, or future play log, I guess, is Date Everything. That also came out that month.
Have fun at your party. Have fun at your party.
Sean, okay, it's a game where you can date literally anything and everything. I played the demo, and you literally can date anything or everything. I'm hoping it turns into a horror game, because that's really funny. It's not going
already
to.
Sounds like one. So
okay, yeah, but no, it's like everyone's like a handsome anime boy or lady, which sounds really cool. But I don't know. I'll report back once I be a degenerate and play it. Anyways, on that note, it was a pleasure. Happy holidays. Happy Hanukkah and Christmas and New Year's. I'll see you guys eventually.
Bye, Celia.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye, Celia.
I do want to also mention, I feel like I have to, with the amount of time spent in that rematch. MVG actually picked it back up recently too.
Yep.
He picked it back
Rematch
up.
is good.
Fun. Yeah, there's some people who are really good on there, so we get crushed sometimes. But it's just a fun social game where it's not like that serious, but it's a fun time. And it's a fun arcade soccer football game that Slow Clap made. Not really what I was expecting them to come up with after Sifu, but Rematch has gotten better as they've updated. It's just taken a little while, but I don't know. It's fun. It is. It's a little more fun than I was expecting, even when they first showed it.
Yeah, I didn't do the True Achievements thing, John, but I feel like Rematch is probably the most amount of hours I've spent on a game on the Xbox this year.
Yes, Rematch, because I can look at how much time. It was a lot. It was a lot of time in Rematch, and every year Nate and I have like at least 2. Usually it's WWE and then something else. I think this year it's WWE and then Rematch, and then Call of Duty's in there somewhere. Like the Xbox is kind of the multiplayer box for me, and then the PlayStation's being the single player box. But I think Expedition 33 and Ninja Gaiden 4 were big single player games for me this year, but then it's like all multiplayer stuff where we just kind of kick stuff around and just try out whatever on there. But Rematch was one of them. Fun game. If you have Game Pass, it's already on there. Otherwise, it was like $20 or $30, I think. Do you recommend it? Back to single player though. Death Stranding 2 on the beach, MVG. Good game. Good game.
Good game. I enjoyed my time with it. I think technically it was an incredible game. It looked so good, and it ran really well on the Pro and everything. The tech was fantastic. What I didn't really care for as much was it just felt like the same game again. And we've already kind of experienced the walking simulation aspect of the first game, which I really liked. And in fact, in so many ways, they kind of streamlined the movement across the world or across Australia or whatever in the story. Because I recall in the first game, like, you didn't really have access to vehicles and stuff until much later.
It was a struggle.
And in this one, I feel like you got like I guess I'm spoiling it, but whatever.
It was quick.
You get a vehicle pretty early on, and you can move around pretty easily. So I think Kojima made a conscious decision to address maybe some of the traversal in the game and make it more easier. I feel like it was it hurt the actual game. Like I wanted it to be very similar to the first one in that regard, but look, the story was kind of interesting. The ending was just typical Kojima.
Yeah, it was Kojima.
which was cool. There were some really great moments in Death Stranding too, like that was so much better than Death Stranding for me. And I feel like if Kojima focused on those, it would have been a far superior game. But ultimately, I enjoyed my time with it. But John, I beat the game, and I've since forgotten about it. Like, there's nothing for me to think about going back to. Like, if he releases like a director's cut, or if it somehow ends up on the Switch 2 or something like that, I'm not even going to bother. Like, it was a good game. I enjoyed it, but we're moving on at this point.
It's interesting you mentioned that about the first Death Stranding, because that did have that struggle in the beginning of just being able to go from point A to point B. You're like, all right, and then you look and it's mountains, and you don't have anything to help you run along, like the bracing or.
Well, that was by design, right? Because it was all about the feeling of it's just you. But now, when you're looking at it further into the game, or even going back across, this is what happens when everyone's involved, and it's just easier. That's supposed to be the impact. How do you do it again in the second one if it's going to be like the same feeling of like, oh,
yeah. even the baby in the second one didn't really seem that important to the gameplay, because like in the first one, I seem to remember if like the baby's crying or something wrong with the baby, you got to drop everything and like make sure the baby's okay. This one, like, you can just run around with the baby like angry and sad and crying and stuff. It doesn't matter, So I don't know, man. I liked it, but I didn't think it was like it's got like a 92 on Metacritic or something like that, or was it that high?
It might. Let me see. I can tell you what it is right now.
What I'm trying to say is, it didn't. It shouldn't.
89.
Okay, 89's probably maybe it's a few points too high. I would have given it like an 85 personally. Okay. It's a fine game, but
it's probably one of those. It is a game that you could get and go, this is one of the technical showpieces. You could go that route. Yeah. But you're right about some of the story. It is kind of that weird Kojima thing where he just art for art's sake, like, I'm gonna be really weird and
the excess of the thumbs up goofiness just constantly.
I don't. My thing is, it seems like he keeps wanting to do stuff with Death Stranding, but I kind of feel like I've seen enough of the universe now, and I'd like to see what he has with Fizzant at this point, and that seems to be his focus now. And OD, sure, but definitely Fizzant, because he's like, hey, you guys want me to make a Metal Gear game, and guess what? I'm gonna make a Metal Gear game, and it's called Fizzant. So that's kind of where I am with that now. I'm good with Death Stranding. He can maybe just take it over into other media as he is now with shows and movies or whatever else. That's fine. Or collaborations, or a credit card collaboration or something. I don't know. He showed a lot that one night where he's like, the future, and is everything but video games until just about the end when they showed OD and then Fizzant. Let's see. I think that's everything in June. July. Angry Birds Bounce. iOS now. We have. Well, I didn't play college football 26. Although it's very popular. Very popular. System Shock 2? Huh? Okay.
I played
John
that.
Oh, you did. You did. Okay, good. Did you like it, Sean?
Yeah, I had never played a System Shock before, so you always heard about them on PC and kind of how they're a little bit of a precursor to like BioShock and stuff like that.
How about Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4?
Yeah, I played that too. I enjoyed it.
Played it for about 10 hours.
That's when I'm going through that, I did kind of get to the point of, I think I am just ready to see them attempt Tony Hawk Pro Skater 6 or a new Underground. Is it to the point now where we just go, you know what? I understand 3 and 4 was because they already did 1 and 2, and it was probably, hey, we can kind of build on this and get a sequel out for cheaper than going off and trying to do Underground. Underground is just going to take more work. It's just, you can't. We talked about, obviously leading up to it, what they did. Instead of going route of 4, they kind of still left it in that 1 and 2 and 3 territory of the 2-minute runs, sort of, or extending them, I guess, if you need to.
Here's the thing, John. They did 5 and killed the franchise.
5 was bad. 5 was bad.
So, and if you really want to play a Tony Hawk game, just play the new fucking Skate. It's free and it's shitty, and
you don't like that though.
I know, but I mean, what are you gonna do? Are you just gonna follow the same formula?
You think it's just gonna be that again?
What do you do? So it's tough. Like, it'd be interesting to see, but it's tough.
You're gonna turn it on to the first unlock 6, 7. You're just gonna throw your TV out the window, Sean.
Right.
Underground, I guess, would be next. They should attempt that, but after what they did from 4 to this 3 and 4 with the different format, I'd be a little concerned about how they might approach Underground.
I didn't mind what they did with 4 in this one. I know it upset some people, but the thing that I did like about what they did was they added some new maps into this one, and I like the new maps. I like them a lot.
Some stuff too, though.
What's that?
They took away some stuff too.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I think the new maps kind of showed me that the people that were working on this one kind of know. They understand the DNA of what makes these games so good. So there was a lot of positives that came out of this game, but ultimately, yeah, I mean, it's Tony Hawk 3 and 4, so it has a limited appeal, I think, to a lot of people, to some people, I should say. But we'll see.
Ride. That's one with the board, wasn't it? He had to use in the living room.
What?
I don't know if was that decent. Tony Hawk Ride.
Well, there was 2 games that had the board.
Yeah, what was the one with the board?
I had it. I remember I bought it for $10 at like a Big Lots.
It was like
Downhill. Was it Downhill Skater?
It was Skate.
Downhill Jam.
Downhill Jam was the Wii game.
Yeah,
that was like a launch game.
Tony Hawk Ride did have the board. It was like the plastic board you had to use. Said that was decent.
No, it wasn't decent.
Someone in the chat said it's decent. There's that viral video of they put the bulldog on it, the dog on it, and it was able to play the game.
Yeah, no, there's nothing decent about that game.
I was gonna say. What else did we have in? Oh, Shadow Labyrinth. You played that, Sean?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Nah. How about Donkey Kong Bonanza?
It's a good game. Very good game. Enjoyed that.
Yep, one of the Game of the Year nominees. Definitely a good game.
One of my best games of this year for sure.
I think it is still my favorite game on the Switch 2 right now. So I mean, it's unfortunately I thought it might be Metro Prime 4, but it's still Donkey Kong Bonanza. So I was just it's a fun game, and that's kind of what it boils down to. Very arcadey and has the destruction mechanic to it, but it also it feels like it just had that level of quality that we usually would expect from Nintendo with their first party stuff. Whether it's actual voice acting in some of these cinematics, I know that's where we are, but that's where we are after seeing Pokemon come out. But with it being a Switch 2 exclusive, it also did show off, I feel like, what the Switch 2 is capable of with the visuals and all the destruction, and for the most part holding 60. And that's what I'd like to see Nintendo do, is target more and more around 60 FPS with some unique ideas like this. It's just a fun, just smashing and destroying everything. I didn't 100% the game. I did the full game and then like the post game stuff, and then I kind of stopped after that. So I didn't collect every single banana, but I feel like I got a lot out of it. I think I was almost 40 hours in to do that.
Did you get the DLC or no?
I didn't do the DLC. I saw you talked about it, and it didn't. I was torn on if that's a 20 or not. Like
It
it's
should,
worth the 20.
Yeah, I think if it was 10 or included with Switch Online expansion. I mean, I did like DK Island. Like it's a very nice aesthetic. But yeah, like beyond DK Island, you're on the same levels. It's just now everything is green and you got to collect a bunch of it. It's like, okay.
Yeah. So I feel like DK Bonanza might be that game in, 5 or 6 years we look back on. Kind of similar to how we look back on Odyssey, although we are waiting for a new 3D Mario game, but just that good 3D platformer action game, really, even that dropped, a month after the Switch 2 came out, and really kind of set the tone. That I'd like to see Nintendo continue into 2026 with another big release, like, I don't know, 3D Mario or 3D Zelda.
Yeah, you got Poco.
It's getting crazy.
You got Poco Pia. You got Animal Crossing Switch 2 edition.
Poco Pia. Stacked. Mario Tennis. Hey, Mario Tennis.
I mean, that'll be fun. I'll buy it.
It will be fun. It'll be fun. You know what? It is going to hinge on the single player aspect, though.
I need a review first before I commit. But I think I'm probably get it.
It's going to have like the story mode, like the original Game Boy Color one did.
I'd like to see some RPG mechanics work in there, and it just be a little more than what we have with Mario Tennis Aces.
It's going to be, I think, from what we've seen so far. It's got a lot more to it, and you don't have to wait a year to have everything unlocked.
We'll see about that. You also like WWE 2K25 on the Switch too?
Yep, one of the best third-party ports on the system, and nobody bought it.
That dropped in July as well. Let me see. I did not play Abiotic Factor. People talk that up quite a bit too. Let's see.
What about that game from Shinnon, the launch game?
Yeah, we had
Fast RMX, Fast Fusion.
Fast Fusion.
Fun game, nice graphical showpiece.
Yeah, you get through it pretty quick. Like, and I tried Game Share, and Game Share was not great for that. For me, anyway, it wasn't. But it's the thing. It's definitely as Sean says, a good graphical showcase type game, especially for how fast everything moves. But it does not take long to. I think I did like 2 races, and it said I was like 8 or 9% through the game. I was like, oh, that was quick. So you go through it pretty fast. But I mean, it's a fun game. However, once they did things like drop, I don't know, F-Zero on there, through the GameCube app, it's like, I kind of play F-Zero. So let's see. We had Evan. Did you play Killing Floor 3 at all?
No. Killing Floor 2 didn't feel that great, so I just didn't even really care.
I did play we had Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, and I tried with that game. It just did not. It wasn't good. I don't know. It was just, for me, it wasn't good. I played it for a few hours, and I don't know if it's the controls or how they had certain things set up with the progression for your character. It just did not click at all. So I dropped that one pretty quick. Let me move into Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. Sean, as the Metal Gear Solid 3 aficionado, how did you feel about this one?
It was pretty. It took me like 6 hours to beat it because I knew what to do, and nothing changed. And some of the new voices I didn't love, and the multiplayer was weird. Great game still, but it's a game that I played so much that I don't know. I knew what I was getting into, and I still had fun with it, but I don't know.
I enjoyed it for what it was. I was watching all the cinematic stuff, so it took me more than 6 hours to get through it. I think it was 11 hours or something watching all the cinematics and looking around at some of the establishments. I was just taking in some of the visuals for it. And I did play the newer style. Did you play the over the shoulder style too that they did?
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't go back and try the traditional style.
No, I just did
all.
that. If I want to play traditional, I'll just play the original.
Here's the question though. I did not play the multiplayer. You did though. You tried it because they released it later, and you're not playing it now, like as in recently. So I
literally only played it the first day, and I was like, "What the fuck is this crap?" And then I was like, "Okay, goodbye." Like
that is kind of a shame.
All they had to do was take fucking the Metal Gear Solid 3's multiplayer and make it modern. That's all. I'll just make it with the new engine and the new graphics. The TDM. Oh, it doesn't hold up. Yes, it does, stupid fucking developers. It's way better than this slop you put out there. There's multiple game modes. The find the snake thing. Protect me. Like, I don't know what you're doing here. That was a bad decision.
What did they put in? Was it just like a find people and that's it?
Dude,
just hide and seek?
I played it for like a little bit and I still never fully understood it. Like there's crap on the map and you're like teamed up with one other person and like you're trying to like pick up the crap on the map and then people are shooting you and like all the areas are small. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
I played the single player and I beat it. I was like, all right, I'm good. And then that was about it. So unfortunately I don't have much interest in going back to the
like, why is there not a mode where like one person is Snake and then you're trying to take out everyone and everyone's trying to find them?
I feel like Metal Gear has room for that asymmetric kind of like Predator versus Four Soldiers situation with Snake. That'd be wild.
They had it in previous games. Literally, Metal Gear Solid 3 Online and Metal Gear Solid 4 Online had modes where somebody was Snake. And you would try to like take everyone out and stuff, and you would like plant the traps, like the magazines, and trank people, and like, you know, you trank someone, and then it would show up on the map, so everyone would run there, but then you'd be gone, you dipped out already, so then they can't find you and stuff. It was so much fun.
Let's go over some of the Ninja Gaiden stuff, MG. I was thinking about just throwing them all together at once because we had like Ninja Gaiden 2. Or Ninja Gaiden Black 2 or Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. Then we also had Ninja Gaiden Ragebound and then Ninja Gaiden 4. So there's a lot of Ninja Gaiden that's happened. It
was a blowout this year.
12 months. It was actually kind of ridiculous. So I will ask you this, MVG. Out of the 3, which one was your favorite one?
I would say Ragebound was probably my favorite. Oh. I really, really liked Ragebound. Great game. I will say when I got Ragebound, I got it on the Switch too. And they still hadn't dropped the Switch 2 update yet. And I think they just patched it so you could play it at 60. And there were some issues with running the game at 60 because there was some scripts in the game that clearly weren't not meant to run at 60 FPS. So there were some parts of the game, like during a cutscene, where I would just literally like warp off the map or something like that. But they were few and far between. I loved Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. One of my favorite games of the year. I also played Ninja Gaiden 4 on the Xbox. Actually played it on my ROG Ally, which I completely
broke.
Destroyed the shoulder buttons with the blocking and all that stuff. Shout out to Asus.
Asus.
And
Asus.
Thank you. I really enjoyed Ninja Gaiden 4 too. Fantastic game. I will say maybe just a little bit of padding at the end. They could have just removed a couple of stages from the end because I feel like we were recycling a few stages at the end.
Yeah, they should have done 2 campaigns. I think they should have done 2 campaigns personally.
But I did appreciate the stuff with Ryu in it as well, Hayabusa. It was a really good game. I wasn't sure if Platinum, knew the assignment and could get the job done. But I kind of walked away feeling like they did a great job. They did a really good job on this game. So I was very happy with Ninja Gaiden 4. I picked up Ninja Gaiden, was it 2 Black?
Yeah.
2?
Yep. The first one that came out where they overlaid Unreal Engine on top of the game.
I picked that up. I started playing it, John, but I got to be honest, I stopped pretty quickly.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with it. I heard it was a great port and stuff, but I think there was other things going on at the time that I was playing. I was focused more on, but no, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound was probably number 1, and followed by Ninja Gaiden 4, which is a great game.
I got the physical for Ninja Gaiden 2 Black on the PlayStation 5. That's how they released it physically there because they have like the 100 gigabyte UHD discs or whatever. So I got it there, and apparently it has PS5 Pro enhancements. So I was going to play through it again on that to see how I don't know how the trophies are for it, but I also wanted to see how it looked there. I did like that one quite a bit when it came out. It was also kind of that situation of they just shadow dropped it. So there was some extra impact there because it was right in the Game Pass, and I just downloaded it and started playing it later that day. And I really liked Ninja Gaiden 2 on the Xbox 360. But if I ordered these personally, I think I would have gone Ninja Gaiden 4, then Ragebound, then 2 Black.
I can see that. I can see that.
part of it, I will say, is because while Ragebound is very good, Shinobi kind of ruined Ragebound a little bit for me. I will just tell you.
Yeah, so I played the demo of Shinobi and I really like it. So I'm going to pick it up and play it at some point, probably over the holiday. I'll check it out.
So Shinobi had a lot more going on in it. However, Ragebound was trying to be that 8-bit style almost Ninja Gaiden game. So there was something to that addition, like that, just that simplicity of it, because it still retained that difficulty. Now I don't think it was as difficult as some of the NES ones. Those were unforgiving, right?
Absolutely not.
This still had a fair amount of difficulty, I feel like, to it. But I did enjoy kind of the navigation through, like with your character, where you were able to jump off of enemies. If you destroyed certain ones with, say, either a projectile or a melee attack, you would then get a more powerful attack in the next swing. So they have that set up in all these different levels to where you're almost like you can do in Sonic, they have almost a path set up where you can go really fast through it. This has that same thing where if you know the level really well, I bet you some people could almost go through without touching the ground. It's almost set up like that at times. But I did like the more simplistic nature to the 2D platforming action.
Ninja Gaiden 4 was also easier than any of the other 3D ones. Far, far easier. Probably the most accessible game, Ninja Gaiden 3D style game to get into, which is not a bad thing. But yeah, like I was expecting, to basically start all the way back at a certain checkpoint or something. And there's a lot of save points in the game. There's a lot of auto saves and stuff like that. It's definitely a lot easier, especially with bosses. Like I feel like you can knock over bosses pretty easily because it's something where you may die the first time trying to figure it out. But I was kind of going through bosses pretty quickly in Ninja Gaiden 4. From memory, but
I feel like I should have died a lot more with some bosses I beat first try, and I was like,
same.
It was normal. Like that's the default hardest difficulty they have. You beat it, you go through, you get like hard or master ninja and stuff. I didn't go back through on those. I assume I will die a lot there, but even at times with Ninja Gaiden in the past, normal difficulty was considered hard in most other games.
Oh yeah.
So that's why I was a little surprised that some of the bosses went down pretty quick. So. Let's see. Moving along. I'm trying to pick some out now as we have to move a little faster. Drag X Drive.
Shut up.
Okay, good. A lot of excitement there. Man, that's a game that I can't even say it came and went because it never showed up.
I never bought it.
I mean, I don't. We did the network test, and that was enough to understand that I
didn't even do that.
I'm not going to be playing this game. It's just not happening. It is you legitimately had to have like a setup. I know people are like, oh, you could just use your lap or your legs or on an armrest. No.
You just dig through your pant fiber. Go for it.
Yeah. Some people someone posted up a picture of their Joy-Con 2 on the side because they were using their jeans and it was turning blue. That's just, not experiment from Nintendo that I just don't think really worked at all. We also had Madden on the Switch too. Sean had a whole back and forth over that.
If you think that Madden on the Switch 2 sold more than it did on the PlayStation 5, you need to log off the internet and delete all of your social media. If you think at any point in time Madden on the Switch 2 had more players playing it than on the PlayStation 5, a system known for Madden.
There's people out there who only buy that system for Madden.
Please delete your social media and do something else with your life.
I already mentioned Shinobi Art of Vengeance, a very good 2D action game. It's very similar to what Ninja Gaiden Ragebound was doing, kind of going back to the old days. If we were to compare that to 8-bit, I would compare Shinobi Art of Vengeance almost to those PS1 style 2D games. It was more animation, more frames, and it looks very, very good in motion. You played the demo, MVG said.
Yeah. Oh yeah, loved it.
It's that, and then for another 11 or 12 hours. That's how long it took me to. I just 100% of the game, just outright, and the platinum trophies don't do some stuff that I'm like, that's not happening. It was a lot of fun. That's the end of that for me. You have to beat the entire game, and then the final boss, like hardest difficulty, in less than 10 hours. I'm like, I think I'm good with what I've experienced here. But I had like 100% in it. They have some really cool unlocks that you go through. And that was the other thing where Ninja Gaiden Ragebound kept kind of simple on even the unlock side. Shinobi, there was a lot of stuff you can buy in the game through shops and upgrade your character, all kinds of costumes and stuff for him too. So it was fun just to be able to unlock stuff like almost constantly in the game. Things you find in the level. So you go back to the levels with different items you get from later levels. Kind of Metroidvania-esque, but it's really just going from level to level, not one big interconnected world. But very good game. Very good. The combos are great. All the different items you get, along with things like they showed like the grappling hook in the previews. That actually can work into certain combos. So I like the difficulty. I think was fair. I think Ninja Gaiden Ragebound was harder though than Shinobi. So
it got tough, especially later in the game. A lot of deaths. A lot of a lot of continues. A lot of deaths.
I fully recommend Shinobi Art of Vengeance. So people should check it out. Let's see. September, I did not play Hell Is Us. I still want to. I have not got around to even picking it up. I would like to grab it on sale if possible.
Didn't play it.
I think that's the move.
Yeah, I saw somebody play the demo and I was like, what is this?
No.
Looks kind of crusty.
Hollow Knight Silk Song. Good game, obviously. I was playing it and I put it down for a bit because a bunch of stuff that came out the same week as something else came out. Because I remember I was trying to play that and then something else. I know I was playing that and Shinobi at the same time. But there was something else I was playing with it, which if I scroll down, I'll find it. Anyway, the game itself is still very much Hollow Knight. And that was the thing. The build-up was there for it, and it was constantly memed online. And then it came out, and it's a good Metroidvania game, but it didn't have anything I think that was like, wow, it makes sense why they worked on this forever. Good game. Didn't have like that, to me, that thing that put it over the top as being this incredible Metroidvania, set the bar super high. But at $20, it's hard to argue when it's fairly priced as well. So
I think you got to look at the price of it because I mean, really, what did the first Hollow Knight do that was so groundbreaking besides have a unique art style at a good price point?
That's the thing. When you do take that price point into account, it's very good. Like it's a high quality game with again, the animations, the technical side of the game. It works. It runs really well. And I think the biggest part about it is the discovery aspect, because it doesn't necessarily tell you exactly where to go, but it does a good job almost funneling you to certain parts just through the environment and even enemy types that you come across that you'll fight but then kind of run away from because they're too strong, and you end up in checkpoints or certain areas that then run you to items. So it's kind of hard to describe, but it just does a very good job of getting you to places without saying go there, marking your map up with a bunch of different points Ubisoft style. So I do like a game's ability to do that. Let me see what did come out. I mean, Star Wars Outlaws, that was 2 days later, but it wasn't that on like the Switch too. Oh, MVG, you played Chronos.
I did play Chronos on the Switch too. It's a good game. Enjoyed it. In hindsight, I probably should have played it on the PS5. The Switch 2 version is a little rough in places. Frame rate was kind of all over the place, but again, I kind of played it when the game came out. I think it's been fixed since then. At least that's what we've been led to believe. It's a pretty good game. I think if you're into that style of psychological horror, the Dead Space kind of with some Silent Hill type of vibe, you might like it. It was good. It was a good game.
That's what whenever I see it, it looks like Dead Space. So I was trying to figure out what the difference was. I guess it's that mechanic for changing time. Is it going back in time or jumping forward in time?
It's supposed to be the time shifting, but it's also supposed to be if you don't finish enemies off, they body horror into larger amalgams.
Correct. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's definitely some weird stuff about the game. Like, you've got that curb stomp, mechanic in Dead Space. I mean, you just smash through enemies and pick up their armor and pick up their ammo and stuff. This one, they tell you at the start, don't curb stomp unless you have unless it's an absolute last resort because you're going to die. And I found the curb stomping in this game, it didn't even work. I feel like it was just kind of bugged most of the time. So the problem I had with the game was resource management is really, really important. And if you find yourself in a situation where you're very low on ammo or you've got no ammo, just reload, and hopefully you'll get some better random pickups on the way to wherever you're going. But enjoyed my time with it. It was a good game. for sure.
Silent Hill F that came out so September 25th, and you played it, MVG.
I beat it. Yep. I enjoyed it. I played it on the Xbox. Normally I'd buy that on the PlayStation, but I was kind of in my ROG Ally phase at the time, so I wanted to see how it played on the ROG. It played pretty good, but yeah, I like Silent Hill F a lot, actually. It was really good. A lot of people criticized the game, saying it wasn't really a traditional Silent Hill story. I don't know. Like, the fog rolled in, John. I mean, what else do you want? You know, like it's Silent Hill, man.
There is a connection issue to it, since most of the Silent Hills up to that point was trying to go with the American audience, that kind of like rural town.
Exactly.
And you go outside in Silent Hill 2, I could go outside here on a misty day and go, ah, fuck, I'm there. Like right now, I'm not feeling that in Silent Hill F. It's like a different thing.
I gotta be honest with you, MVG. Whenever I start it up, it feels kind of like a chore. I'm trying to push through this game. You know what I think it might be? It might just be the combat. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, the combat is it's interesting for sure, and there's definitely parts in the combat where it's like, you know, again, if you don't have enough kind of items to kind of get you through, you may struggle with it. Yeah, there's definitely something about the combat that I didn't like, but I felt like the story was interesting enough where it kind of kept me going.
I saw people show off some things about it where the monsters wouldn't respond if they saw you. They'd only respond if they like heard you.
Yeah.
So like that was kind of
cool. Okay. I did mess up initially when I picked the difficulty because it named them in like a weird thing, and I just put it on the hardest difficulty by accident, like hardest puzzle difficulty. So they separate combat difficulty from puzzle difficulty. So I had the hardest puzzle difficulty, and
that was the one where they had that interview where they were like, "You need to know Japanese culture."
Yeah, I'm like, I don't even know what am I doing? What do I do? I can't even read the language in front of me. What am I supposed to do? I'm like looking at like Google Translate to like hold it up to the screen and. Yeah.
Well, I beat it twice because I kind of wanted to see if I get the UFO ending and stuff like that, but I think you got to beat it like 5 times to get it.
Oh wow!
I ain't doing that, but yeah, I have a good maybe 40 or 50 hours invested in the game. I enjoyed it. Okay. Enjoyed it a lot. It was good.
I will push through it for the sake of just getting through it. Just maybe it flips right. I mean, I'm like 4 hours of gameplay. I'm telling you, every time I turn it on, I'm like. Okay, it's just kind of trudging through it a bit, so maybe it'll flip for me midway through the game. We'll see. Let me have. I might have to jump ahead a little bit here. Or
I'm going through this up. Jesus Christ, we're not going over.
We can just forget the other topics.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just going through games, man.
They're all
games,
dumb
Sean.
anyway.
Video games.
Yeah,
video games.
AI,
Tell me about NBA Bounce, Sean. It's right here.
Sucks dick.
Thank you.
We did it.
Let's see. Let's go to Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. We had those released on the Switch 2 and the Switch 1.
And the Wii that I played 20 years ago.
Wii U.
And the Wii U.
Sean had some heat for that game.
I don't give a fuck. They had some crappy graphic thing on there. There wasn't a great control scheme for it.
Was it the color gradients that were kind of just banding? Yeah, I remember seeing that somewhere.
I showed it to you because I was like, am I crazy? And you were like, no.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. It didn't look good.
Yeah, and they're charging $70 for crusty ports. Like, come on, dude. What are we talking about here?
Ghost of Yote. That came out October 2nd. I played through it. Really enjoyed the game. MVG is getting it for, I think, around Christmas time. So I will not spoil anything for him, but he will have to tell me about his time in the game as he goes through, because there's you played Tsushima and you enjoyed it.
It was all right.
It was second coming for you or anything, but you liked it. You know?
It was all right.
I think Yote is better than Tsushima. I will put that out there. I do. I liked it more. And I will say this, MG, I liked it more than Shadows. Here's the reason I liked it more than Shadows, okay, is I think it's just a more focused game, whereas Assassin's Creed Shadows felt a little erratic at times based on the character you played as at any given point. Whereas it's just like, yep, revenge story. You're a samurai. Just go wipe everyone out. That was kind of it. And they do have some. You basically go to, as they have the Yote 6. You can assume they're basically like, hey, here are a bunch of bosses. So they have interesting stories for each one, I would say, for most of them. So I'll hear your take on that when you get a chance to play it. You'll have to let me know. But visually speaking, awesome looking game. It might be one of those showpieces for, oh, I have a nice OLED. Let's turn this game on. Turn on Ghost of Yote. So I will tell you though, it's going to be a continuation of Tsushima in the sense that it has a lot of the same assets, a lot of the animations, and it's very clear that Sucker Punch, the way that they kept their costs down, is by going, okay, we made Tsushima, let's continue on and make Yote. So yeah. That's kind of where my expectations were going.
That's the Yakuza system, so might as well.
That is true. People really like Yakuza, so
there's blood decals used in all of them that they used in the first one.
That's right. You're right. On the PS2, yeah, they did. They still use that decal on the PS5. Yeah, I mean, hey, it works, right? Let's see. I did not play Absalom. People talk about that all the time. I've seen a lot of people mention that. I have not played that. Talked about Ninja Gaiden 4. Dispatch. We talked about Dispatch loosely, but Evan, you liked it.
It was okay.
Okay. See, I'm trying to get some Evan games involved in here too.
It had good moments. Again, the story kind of like went weird at the end, like just thing after thing that was just kind of like, oh, this is goofy.
See, I can't even ask you what your ending.
We probably had similar ones. There's only slight differences. It's a little bit better than Wolf Among Us in terms of like the differences, but
okay. I'll say I can't even really ask about what. This is spoil everything. So
that's why I don't like doing this, man. Because I'd love to talk about random things like why I didn't like Hades 2 as much as 1, stuff like that. But
you didn't like Hades 2 that much, really?
No, I didn't like how it ended.
Oh man, people love that game. That is the #1 seed in Game of the Year Madness. Is Hades 2.
Yeah, I mean, it feels just like Hades 1, but the way they wrote that ending, I absolutely hated it for Supergiant. So I don't want to talk about it.
You can't explain that. Then never mind. Yeah. What about Arc Raiders, Evan?
It's good. It's good. It was definitely because I don't really like extraction shooters as much. I played Tarkov. I played it with my buddies who are really into it. I hated that whole meta of, oh, shoot the ankles because everyone has armor that's better than your bullets kind of situation. But Arc Raiders simplifying it and making it a little more arcadey is pretty good. Watching the community kind of go from like, oh, let's all be friends to like this weird nuance of like, everyone's trying to kill us at the exit, so now let's just kill everyone. It's cool watching that like social shift in the game itself, and it's been great watching it advance forward at the speed it's going with new maps and stuff. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Evan, Marathon comes out next year.
I'll try it with you if you want, but I don't think it's going to stand up to Arc Raiders. I think it'll get that group that's going to like it, that niche community, but
it's going to have crossplay. To look at that to see if it has crossplay or not. Because I'll get Marathon as well if we're going to play it.
Yeah, I prefer first person. To be clear, Arc Raiders has the arcadey nature to it, but third person camera always gives advantage to the peeker, especially when you have the problems they've been having with the servers where you like bullets will just hit you when they're a million miles away because of registration on the server itself. So if Marathon gets around that, it'll at least feel better, but I don't think it's going to get the same community or even close to the size.
I am 25 hours in the Trails in the Sky, Raptor. That is going to be my holiday game, or my game I play over the next like week and a half. That's going to be the one. I think I'm going to just sit down and actually get through that game. Although people say it's 80 hours. I don't think it is. I think I'm rolling along pretty well in it right now. And then I will eventually give my thoughts on it. Let me see. November, we had Call of Duty. I kind of sad about Call of Duty.
What a terrible campaign that was.
That campaign was sad.
God, it was so
we skipped over Ball X Pit in October. Okay.
Hit us with Ball Pit, Evan.
It was good. It was good, but I don't like the end game in it because it feels like a mobile game. Like it's really weird because you build things that give you resources while you're not playing it. Like I thought that was me.
I started the game up and I'm going through it.
Like this should be on phones.
It's because it's just Breakout and it's like this is cool. And then it goes, all right, now you're gonna farm. I'm like, what? I was playing Breakout. You set up an actual like wheat farm. And you have to then take your farmer and send it in one direction. It'll bounce all over the place. And then it just collects whatever resources. It's kind of weird.
You build houses to increase stats. The game is literally an infinite new game plus treadmill though. I'm on New Game plus right
now.
now.
It's like that. It just keeps going.
Just drastically increases
Really?
the difficulty because you have infinite stat increases from some of the buildings you can.
And
then it's just a high score game. I can compare my score to you at like New Game plus with speed plus to see how fast I can beat it without dying kind of situations.
Well, I'll group Call of Duty and Battlefield together, at least for the campaigns. Neither were good. It was kind of sad. MEG, I remember MEG and I were playing some of the co-op at Call of Duty, and we stopped playing, and then I guess you jump back on, and I don't know, 2 hours later your messages are like,
I beat it.
I finished it.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah, and
really?
I wasn't like trying to speed run the game or anything. It's the most uninspired, phoned in, AI generated story with just terrible. None of the boss fights made any sense. None of the game made any sense. It was just like, I think I said this last week. You know, you're in the jungle somewhere, and all of a sudden you just hallucinate and warp into like this other world where there's like this big boss encounter of you fighting against Michael Rooker, like it's a giant, right? It's just the dumbest campaign I've ever played, and I've played them all. And there's some bad Call of Duty campaigns out there. This one is far and away the worst one, and I think that's why Microsoft or Xbox or whoever it was, Activision, turned around and said, "Hey, we're not doing Black Ops again next year. We're doing something else." So we hear you guys.
Do you think elements of like the zombie game side of it is leaking into the? Yeah.
Yes, that's what it was. Like, I feel like when I say they phoned it in, they just took the zombie stuff and they just kind of put you into these various arenas, you know. So there's a story campaign, right? There's like a scripted sequence that plays, and then all of a sudden they just, you know, put you into this like big kind of warehouse, right? And they just throw all these enemies at you. And as I was playing the game, because what you said is absolutely correct. As I was playing the game, I was like, am I fucking playing zombies right now? What is this? You know, like, this is not a Call of Duty campaign. This is something
in a lot of games like this. We've heard that there's a culture of people who they develop the game around the idea of what will people make content of, what will go viral, and zombies tends to do better every single time it gets released than the campaigns from these games. So maybe that's it. Is they were just like, oh, let's just make it a zombies thing. People will make more videos about it. It'll be great.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know.
It was not good.
I have a couple more games to name very quickly before we go over to some of the questions to close out. Let's see.
You got 16 minutes, pal. You better be rifling through these. Yes or no? One-word answers.
Hey, we're raising money for Toys for Tots. I'll stay on a few minutes extra since we are now at, I just saw, $2,623.
Thanks to Medusa for 20. I'm going to call Shock Rock for 100. The Jam Man paid $5 twice. Anonymous with 50, 69, nice, and 100 in MX, which I can only assume means most extreme.
Okay, good stuff. That's the only logical explanation on that one. All right, Evan, hit us with routine.
Have any of you guys played this yet? Because it is
downloaded. I downloaded it.
So aesthetically, it's great, but gameplay wise, it feels really refreshing. It's not going to feel great for other people, but the game is very much all right, you're in a map, go figure it out. Like, I remember getting to a point in the map where they were like, all right, type in your ID, and you print your ID out at the beginning and you pick it up, and that's how it teaches you how to super crouch and stuff to look under things. And I was sitting there staring at it for hours. Like, what am I? Hours is a little bit just over on that, but I'm just wondering what the hell I'm supposed to do, because I was like, there's no inventory, I don't know how to see my stuff. Eventually I scroll my mouse down, I look straight down, and my goddamn number's on my chest. And I was like, oh shit. And because that changes, you get more IDs. The game doesn't tell you half the stuff you're supposed to do in the ways normal games do it, where they're like, let me walk you through point by point every little thing about how this gun works, every little moment about, like, we're gonna put little checkpoints on everything so you know what to look for. You have no clue. I got to the train station and I'm sitting there like, what do? I'm supposed to get through this gate. Oh, there's a yellow wire. Cool. Oh, there's a box and it's sparking. And then you figure it out, like, oh, this gun's supposed to shoot broken things to repair so you just fire at it, gate opens up. You're like, all right, this is cool. You find out about the enemies by interacting with them. It doesn't just go like, this enemy does this. Eventually you find out that the AI system in the place can only run one robot at the same time. So it's like you determine which ones are going to try to get past them. It's great because it just feels like you're figuring it out. The game's not just going, here's how you get to the next point, do it. And I love
so
that.
You like the game? You liked it quite a bit.
Yeah, I love it. I haven't beaten it yet. I'm on a part where supposedly the enemy's invisible, and there's a lot of stuff falling from the ceiling and hanging from the ceiling, and you can only see it with a low FPS screen on your gun that you have to kind of hone in on, so that you're seeing like snapshots of it coming at you while you're seeing like water get pushed aside and things. And you're just like, no. It's great.
Let me before I go over here to the Spawncast network here, I'm just going to bring up Metroid Prime 4. I just want to set the stage. MVG hasn't even gotten to it yet. Like that's kind of where we are right now.
I'll get around to it eventually.
But I mean, you hear that, you go, oh, doesn't have the mystique we were hoping for when we were building up to it. And I've even seen some review scores still coming in, and it's working in the wrong direction. Lowest rated Metroid Prime game so far in the series. Sean and myself, I think we're similar. I was like around an 8 for this one. I think you had it around 7, 8, somewhere in there, Sean.
Yes, I'd say 7.
Yeah, so it's unfortunate. Good game. It just didn't.
It's not great. And Metroid Prime games are always great, and this was not a great game. It was a good game.
Yeah, when you're a field of 9s and 10s, when you show up as this game of 7 or 8, it feels like when you're grading on a curve, it feels like a lower effort, unfortunately. And there are a couple of reasons. The big one being the desert area where you do backtrack over and over and over and over again. If that wasn't there, this game, I'll be real, might be like 5 or 6 hours long. It's kind of like that, unfortunately. And it's so obvious. Like, people I see start the game and they'll give their initial impressions like, this is awesome. I don't know what people are talking about. Then they give their impressions after they beat it, and they're like, yeah, there's a lot of backtracking. And it was kind of weird that you couldn't fast travel. And, well, the game had to be 10 or 11 hours long on first playthrough. That's why. So, unfortunate. Good looking game. If you want a really good looking game on the Switch too, that takes advantage of just about everything on it, including mouse mode and 120 FPS, this is the one. So, I hope they get a shot at Metroid Prime 5. I do, because I'd like to see if they maybe take some learnings away from this, but we'll see. See what happens.
Prime 5, baby.
It's not decades from now.
Yeah, right. It's not cheap to develop games at Retro Studios. That's the only concern I have. So, yeah.
It's okay. #1 seller on the eShop chart, though. Yeah, that means it sold 1 million copies.
2 million, maybe 3.
Probably 500 million, even though it's based on revenue, not on actual game sales, which is why a game like...
And isn't it revenue in like a time frame?
Yeah, over a course of a couple, I think 72 hours. So a game like Hollow Knight or Hades 2 or something like that essentially has to sell, 3 times the amount of copies. But
we already heard Hollow Knight Silksong sold 7 million copies. Yeah, so I did pretty well for them. That's not counting like, oh, they didn't say 7 million players with Game Pass involved. No, they just sold 7 million copies. So it makes sense why it was #1 on the eShop charts there for a bit. So go over to some of the questions here that people posed. So we'd read a few of these out as we had time.
Love how you skipped over T2, but go on, player.
Yeah, and did you talk about Kirby Air Riders?
I did not talk about Kirby Air Riders.
No, Marvel Cosmic Invasion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Marvel
Sean's
Cosmic
like, oh, yeah.
Which was
fire.
Okay, no, go ahead. Sean, tell us about T2.
It's fucking awesome. My collector's edition is coming in tomorrow. I bought
you got it.
$120 one. Yep. It'll be here tomorrow.
You got room for that in your collection?
I have a small collection nowadays.
Okay.
Okay. T2's the move. How much is that? Is that like 30?
$30.
$30.
Okay.
Good game.
It's a good game. Okay.
That's a great comment. Pull up Anthony Dacker's comment.
What did I do? Oh, no, it's not. Okay. Anthony says Metroid Prime 4 is the Shenmue 3. Oh, not like that.
He's asking. Man. He's asking is. Yes. What? That is a perfect analogy.
No.
Is it because it doesn't progress the story at all and just kind of ends?
No, it's just a disappointment because you waited for it for so long and it just came out a bit lackluster.
I see.
I think that's a perfect analogy. It's not an inherently bad thing, but the only people deep throating it are the diehards. And I am a huge this ain't no Death Load Day. I am a huge Metroid Prime fan. I am a huge Shenmue fan. But I can still see that those are not great games because I'm not just a blind person towards everything. Like I try to look at things from an objective lens. Now, granted, there have been some games where I'm like, yeah, this is great, and it's really not that great. It's just I'm a huge fan of it. But I'll say it. House of the Dead 1 on the Switch 1. The first thing I said was I am a House of the Dead fanboy, so my opinion is going to be completely different than most people's. Like, I can recognize it, but a lot of these people can't.
Okay, so T2, good game. People check it out.
Yeah.
And then Kirby Air Riders.
That was a game. All right, let's get to the chat. The questions.
Oh, man. Hey, you just wanted me to say it so you could just bury it immediately. Man. Let's see. Matendu says, happy holidays to those on the cast. Any releases you hope to see next year that haven't been announced? I'll just say Half-Life 3. I'll just say Half-Life 3.
Some bigger Nintendo titles. Because what's been announced thus far isn't very attractive.
I have Half-Life 3 and then a 2.5D God of War because I really want to see how they work that one out. The God of War game.
I want a new Star Fox.
Oh, all right. Let's not get too crazy here.
Okay. New Star Fox game
announced.
Yeah.
Putting it into the universe.
Let's
say Banjo-Kazooie on Xbox.
I will never say the word Banjo-Kazooie again in a public forum ever. Thank you.
Clive Nelson says, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah to Spawncast crew. Spawnwave, OJ, and RGT were my first, second, and third most watched YouTube channels this year. One stat said I watched 530 videos from Spawnwave. That's a lot of content.
Damn, I guess I fell off. Jeez.
A lot of my editing.
Yeah, I was going to say. Anyway, my question is about the decreasing console sales story that was big news this week. It just seems strange to me that the Switch 2 is the fastest selling console of all time, but now all of a sudden its sales are low. I'm wondering if the Switch 2 is just selling out of all of its stock, and the simple reason why the PS5 sold more is because they had more stock. I haven't heard anyone talk about this. What does the panel think?
Saturation.
No, I think it's anything. It's a readily available. The Switch 2 is very readily available right now. I think it's a lot of it is economic factors. People, this, that, and the other. A lot of people, I think, that wanted a Switch 2 have bought a Switch 2, and now you're getting to the point where you're starting to have to, convince people. And I'm sure shit like Animal Crossing and Pokopia will help the sales because, there's a casual market there. But I think there's another segment of people that are just, waiting for the bigger titles, the more marquee first-party Nintendo titles, because, spoiler alert, a lot of people buy Nintendo consoles to play Nintendo games. And, if you look at what's come out, I would say aside from World and Bonanza, it's been a bit more niche.
Yeah, when they get to end of February next year, we expect them to announce Gen 10 Pokemon. That's probably going to get people like, okay, I guess I should get one of these things now because the new Pokemon game. But you're right, they do need some, like a 3D Mario, a big 3D Zelda, something like that. Even if you announce it 2 years ahead of time, just to kind of start setting the stage for some of those big announcements to get people on board because things aren't getting any cheaper.
No, so. and that's that's really what it boils down to. It was a soft month. Is that indicative? And it's also you have to consider that we don't it's still doing well in Japan and stuff like that. So
Yep. So the thing is, they is comparing November to November of last year, but the Switch 2, because it came out in June, when you launch a line, it's going to end up still being the fast selling system. And Nintendo, we'll see how they do with what their forecast is going into next year. But even if they miss it, it'll probably end up still being like an 18 some odd million unit seller for its first year, probably minimum. And that'll be very good for them. Might even be 20. It depends, because that'll go till June for a full year. Vegeta says, how are we feeling about gaming right now? Just feels like it's in a weird spot and not as good as it was, but maybe I'm just getting old. Anyway, I appreciate the cast and wish everyone a happy holiday season.
I feel like both of those things can be true. Vegeta, you are getting old and gaming is in a weird place right now.
Yeah,
because I feel you. I feel the same way, and I am getting old. Trust me, I'm 52. So, yep.
I mean, and you have, like I said, you have these huge development costs. You have fucking Naughty Dog can't even release a new game on the PlayStation 5 in a somewhat timely manner. Bigger budgets, everyone relying on, I need the next big live service game, this, that, and the other. Like, shit's gonna get ugly, dog. Like, I think 2026 will be good for releases, but I also think 2026 is gonna be fucking ugly in terms of gaming as a whole when it comes to layoffs and shit like that, and price increases. Like, guess what? Your systems are going up next year, so you better buy some shit now.
Yeah, I mean, I would really like to see these companies test more of the budget side of things if they can figure it out. But it's like baseline getting into the gaming right now for a console. If you want anything that's brand new, it's $450 and up. And that's kind of crazy. It might be $500 baseline if Nintendo raises that Switch 2 non-bundled to $500 next year. That's crazy that we're in that position. Medallion says, no question, just wishing the Spawncast of Christmas past, present, and future a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Vibe and New Year's. Shout out to Medallion.
Oh, and plus, one other thing I wanted to say, there was that statistic that, like, what was it, 10 games make up over 50% of all gaming revenue and shit like that.
Yep.
Motherfuckers are just playing the same shit. Yeah. Fortnite,
some of the top played, top selling games, there's no 2 at the end of the title. It's been running this whole time.
Yeah. There was the Steam Wrapped that showed 15% of PC players this year played a game from this year. Like they're just still playing, games from past years, or even just that live service Counter-Strike, Dota, the top games you see on Steam all the time. They're locked in, that's how it is. Saul says, hello, Spawncast. Thank you for all the podcasts this year. What is that one game in your backlog that you really want to play but just haven't had the chance?
I got nothing.
It's my backlog kind of the chance.
I always feel like I have the chance because of
it's a little different, I guess.
It's hard for us, because
it was Trails for a while, and now I'm playing it. So
I think for me, mine would be Hogwarts.
Oh, okay. Hogwarts Legacy.
It's always on sale. You should just
buy it. I bought it. I bought it on the Xbox. I think I bought it for like $10.
Sure.
On during Black Friday, so I will get around to it eventually.
Yeah, it's good. It was a good game. I think I would have enjoyed it more if I was like into Harry Potter, but as just a game with limited knowledge around really Harry Potter, it was still enjoyable.
It was interesting tech wise.
Oh,
it was like as close to GTA as we could get in like the Hogwarts universe.
Yeah, it was an interesting game.
Ornal says, happy holiday, Spawncast. What are some of your favorite Christmas games? They say their favorite is Yakuza 0.
Batman, Arkham, or no, not Origins. Was it Origins?
Is it the one?
And Origins is the Christmas one.
Yeah, or Origins.
They recommended it to us last time. Remember, they're like, I played Batman Origins. Like, oh yeah.
Batman Returns on the Super Nintendo.
So Spider-Man Miles Morales.
What? Yeah,
Spider-Man.
One of the Dead Rising games was
4.
Christmas one.
4.
That one was pretty good.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Shenmue.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
We could go with that. Let's see. This is from, I will read this. Casual Noob Gamer said, John, long story short, my neck somehow got fractured after the back surgery that I had. And I just got out of surgery yesterday for my neck is now up and straight, which hasn't happened in decades. I know this isn't a question, but I think I sent you a picture on Twitter, which he did. I saw it. I dropped a like on it. Shout out to Casual Noob Gamer. I'm sure you saw it, but I'm sure you didn't want to like it because it was an inappropriate picture. Well, anyway, you don't know what the show means to me. I've been listening pretty much almost every Saturday since you guys started up. Back when you know Phil Newson was there. Phil Newson. Maybe this is like text speech. Phil Newson was there. And yeah, the show means a lot to me. I alleviate a lot of stress. Why not? And I've been through a lot of stress and whatnot. It says and why not?
Yeah,
and whatnot.
You gotta decipher.
And I've been through a lot of stress and less to decades. So thank you for what you guys do, and have a happy holidays and a happy new year. Later, casual new gamers sign out. Shout out to Casual New Gamer. Appreciate that. Hopefully, speedy recovery. Speedy recovery. I did see the message you put out over on Twitter X. Let me see. I think this is no question. Happy holidays. DC Fat Cat. All right, here we go. Another great year, one and all. Just a recommendation. Can we finally start to cover the impact of Al Simmons as a character? We have been waiting all year to cover the latest annual, and yet it's crickets from you all. Maybe next year we can finally have a real Spawncast. Much love. Happy holidays from our couch. Shout out to DC Fat Cats. I'm going to read this one. Barboy says, read questions below as separate questions. Okay, it says, do RGT wear wigs?
No.
Have RGT worn wigs?
No.
Will RGT wear wigs?
No. You have for Halloween things, yeah.
The Hogan hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when will RGT wear wigs is the other question.
Halloween, if I do.
And then finally, what is this PO box? No, I'm just messing. Probably Halloween. You're Beetlejuice too, right?
Yeah, it was Beetlejuice, Stone Cold.
Yeah, you're not gonna wear one for Stone Cold.
Doc Brown from
That's right.
Back to the Future 2. And then regular Hogan and Hollywood Hogan.
Game Bro says, John, I really enjoy your Nintendo DS videos. Just hoping you continue making those, since there always seems to be new developments with the modding and accessory scene as time goes on.
Well,
yeah, I just got that
the Ambernick DS in.
I got that RGDS in. Yeah. You saw that on I posted that picture of it. So I will check that out.
I heard it was kind of shit.
They just had an update that came out, I think, and it's sad because I think the community kind of fixed it for them, and they seem to have fixed that top screen desync issue, but it wasn't Ambernick who fixed it.
But you can't even really upscale on it or anything, right?
It's not an overpowering chipset, but it's also like $100, I guess. Is there?
Yeah, but I'm only asking for like give me a 4-time upscale
for DS. Yeah. So I mean that Thor, I guess, is the answer for a lot of people, but it is 3 times more expensive, I guess.
It's not even out yet, too, by the way. Is it? Like, no one has one.
The Thor or the
Thor?
I see people keep posting pictures of them with it, but I ordered one.
They're just reviewers. Like, you're in the waiting list. Because I ordered the Odin 3, and that's like a waiting list. Whenever they decide to close that, they'll ship them out. But I'm not getting that for a while.
That's what it must be then. I'm still just waiting for it to come in. So when it gets here, it gets here. I'm interested in that Thor. Apparently plays 3DS games pretty well too.
Yeah, I'm interested in it too. AYN, whatever your name is, if you're listening, hit me up.
Send the message, make the call. I think I got a bunch of questions there, and I feel like that's going to close us out. Someone mentioned StreamYard. Oh, someone did drop a StreamYard. Liam did. Am I the only one disappointed by the Switch 2? It visually breaks most Switch 1 games in handheld. There's barely any first parties with 4K or mouse. We've had performance issues already, and game keycards suck. We've watched Switch 2 struggle to run games that started on Switch 1 like DK. Well, DK, I like DK. I don't have a problem with that.
I think it's because most of these games were Switch 1 games.
Mario Kart World as well, yeah.
Like everything.
I also want to add to that people's expectations of what the Switch 2 was going to be were just greatly inflated. What we're looking at really is just essentially an iteration of the Switch for 2025. And that's really all it is. It's not the second coming of handheld consoles. It's always going to have various performance issues, but it's ideally going to run better than the Switch does, which it does, right?
WWE 2K25, 60 frames per second.
Yeah, I mean, there are good experiences on the Switch too, and they will get better over time. But like, I don't know. I don't. I definitely understand, what they're saying, but I don't know. A lot of people just came into the Switch 2 just really with over inflated expectations of what the system was going to be.
Yeah, I do also wonder if it didn't have anything that made it super unique from the Switch 1, like that weird Nintendo. Because sometimes they get a little too weird with it.
No gimmick.
Like, yeah. So the mouse mode's cool, but I really haven't used mouse mode much. I usually just use a Pro controller when it's in docked mode or in handheld. I'm just holding the system. So that is something that hasn't really taken form yet if they have big plans for it. But I think that's what it is. They need to set the tone with, as Sean mentioned, something that like Metroid Prime 4, good looking game, also a Switch 1 game, right? So it needs that. I mean, let's say it needs the big first party game that shows up and is like, okay, it needs that Breath of the Wild, that Mario Odyssey, something like that. You can still have all the other games like Fire Emblem and everything we have right now, but you need that big game, I think. So, yep, that's kind of how I'm feeling with it. But I think that's everything. Let me look at the total. Let me total for
the last of the donations while you're looking. ACOG for 20, Anonymous for 5, and RIP CDMR for 100 MX, which again, most extreme, I'm guessing.
Okay, that brings the total to $2,658 raised for Toys for Tots. And that is actually a significant amount tonight in the few hours that we've been streaming for the podcast. That's more than $1,000 actually.
Wow, well done, chat.
So yes, shout out to everyone who came through. We appreciate it.
Good job.
Getting those toys for those kids. Good job, everyone.
Yep. I will also post that up on good old Twitter X social medias. So I just want to give a shout out to everyone who stopped by. That is the last episode of the Spawncast for 2025. Appreciate everyone coming through. And we're going to be back next year, extend on the 3rd. Let me go around here. MVG, where can everyone find you, sir?
You can find me on Twitter X at Modern Vintage G. Again, thank you to the chat for the donations. Great job. I'm taking a bit of a break on videos, but I'm already filming some videos for early next year. So I'll be back in the new year with a bunch of cool stuff. So like the Commodore 64 Ultimate right behind me here. So I'll be covering that and various other things. And yeah, so I'll be back in January. Thanks for having me on, John.
MVG that have his final video of the year as well, just kind of going over updates and stuff too. So make sure you check that out if you want to see more about MVG over on his channel and what's going on. Let's see. Let's go to Couch GT over here.
You can find me at RGT85 on social medias and YouTubes and stuff like that. I'm not planning on taking a break because I don't know. I ain't got nothing.
Yeah, what else are you doing, right?
Yeah, might as well have some fun. So we'll see. I don't have tomorrow's video planned, but we'll see what I come up with, or I might take the day off. Who knows?
You should just do a video like this, just with a little pulsating thing in the middle of the screen.
What about Evan?
You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, pretty much anywhere. Kimmerix Project. I wasn't here 2 weeks ago because I was at a tournament, didn't win, but didn't expect to. But I did paint really well, so I got a giant hammer.
Wow!
And we're gonna paint tomorrow on stream, I think. Also, thanks to Bo Burkhart for another 5, and then Anonymous for 20 and another 5 as well.
Oh wow! Let me get the updated total for that. 2,688.
Good job.
Shout out to them. Wait, they just hand you a hammer for showing up the best painted figures?
It was one model I didn't expect to win, but then they were like, "Here's a hammer."
That's better than a trophy. They give you a hammer.
And then I won a raffle for a giant propane powered griddle, so that wasn't fun carrying outside.
That sounds like a legit trip. Then you got some good stuff. Oh yeah. All right, good stuff. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We appreciate it. We'll see you in the new year, January 3rd, 2026.